Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, I am Professor Khalil ACP and our today's discussion is on the poem of Emily Dickinson, I Heard a Fly Buzz. She was born on 10 December 1830 and died on 15 May 1886. Emily Dickinson is an American poetess and she was born at Amherst, Massachusetts. She is an unusual off-rhyme poetess. Unusual versification and experimentations are the basic recognition of Emily. She was inspired by 18th century hymnist Isaac Watts. She got encouraged from sentimental essays of I.K. Michel's, especially Reveries of a Bachelor and A Book of the Heart. The pseudonym of Donald Grant Mitchell. Her fancies and reveries were more intricate and social as compared to Marvel. Her poetry starts with strong social impetus, and her solitude is not meaningless hermeticism. The separation of her dear ones either by death or cooling interest is the basic pattern. That is the theme, and the person on the deathbed is the topic of the present poem. I heard a fly buzz when I died. Let's move towards the digital screen. I heard a fly buzz when I died. The stillness in the room was like the stillness in the air. Between the heaves of storm, the eyes around had wrung them dry, and breaths were gathering firm for that last onset. When the king be witnessed in the room, I willed my keepsakes signed away what portion of me be assignable, and then it was there interposed a fly, with blue uncertain stumbling buzz between the light and me, and then the windows failed, and then I could not see to see. Seems to be an experience of a dying person, a person who is right there on the deathbed. His death is being talked about by the poetess. Either she herself was involved in that experience of the last time or somebody else. But something was happening in the room as it is defined. I heard a fly buzz when I died. The stillness in the room. There was no sound, there was no noise, and nobody was just speaking in the room, and all of them they were stunned and was like the stillness in the air, and the air was also still. There was no air movement or there was no movement of the people. It means all those people who were right there in that room, they were just finding it out at what time the person who is dying is to die. The eyes around had wrung them dry, and the people they were stunned and they were astonished about the situation, as their eyes have not even a single drop of water. It was being wrung that some strange situation or some strange incident is about to happen, and breaths were gathering forms for that last onset. In this last movement, when a person who was just lying on the deathbed and his death is imminent, all of them they were stunned on that situation, and it was the last movement of that person, and they were all waiting restlessly about the death of that person. When the king, now the poetess has mentioned a character king. Who that king is, poetess intention is that who is going to take the soul away, either the poetess herself or someone else who is dying right there. That king is who is going to take the soul of the poetess. It means be witnessed in the room, I willed my keepsakes signed away. The poetess feels so that she did what? She just signed away. Either there was any sort of resistance on account of the poetess to raise against the very person or very entity who is going to take took her soul away. There was no right on behalf of the poetess just to seize her soul to herself. The same poetess has another poem, Because I Could Not Starve for Death. There she shows no resilience against the angel who is going to take the soul of the poetess away. Right now she just signed the will. My keepsake signed away. She signed the will that let that angel took away the very soul of the poetess. Another play, you Christopher Marlowe's play, Dr. Faustus, where that will was signed, but the intention was evil. Right here, there is no evil intention. Every human being is bound just to die, and he is to move from this mortal world to an immortal world. The poetess also in a dying position, and she is signing her will. Either she is intentionally ready to give up her soul or not. She is bound to die at all cost. What portion of me be assignable? Is there anything else on behalf of the poetess to sign? There was nothing in the hand of the poetess, and then it was there interposed a fly. Now there is an experimentation of the poetess. She is just positioning two different categories. In the first or second or third line, the stillness in the room was like the stillness in the air. That is juxtaposition or paradoxical statement. Two different things are mentioned one after another, and right here what was, or either she just for her own self, for her own sake she signed the will, or what portion of me be assignable. For what she did so, she assigned or she signed away, and for what she is bound to be assigned. And then it was there interposed a fly with blue uncertain stumbling buzz, a buzz, some sort of fly that is just moving around the room. It is not for the characters who were present there and who were just watching or witnessing the scene of the poetess death, but actually the poetess herself was trying to watch away something else, that her last movement is too much attached to the stumbling of the buzz, that the certain fluttering sound of the wings of the buzz, they are creating a relation to this word and to an other word. When there will be the close of eye, there will be no other buzz, or it's flapping. Now stumbling buzz between the light and me, that stands between the two words. It is just light and darkness. A person always remains in the form in a state of life or in a state of darkness. The state of light is where it is always considered this very word is a state of light, and soon after that what is there nobody knows. And how could we know that what is there in the other side of the word? And then the witness windows failed, and then I could not see to see. Here the poetess has surrendered herself, and her soul is being taken away by the angel. Now, because I could not stop her death, it was the poem of the poetess where she defined three stages of her life. Right here, she has just defined the last incident of her life when she was about to die. What those three stages were, it is very clear that the childhood and the motherhood, as well as the last stage, either she was passing through the sun or the sun was passing through her. But right here she is just defining that there is just one thing which is attaching her to the other word, and that one thing was just the seizement of the buzz. When there was no sign of buzz, it means darkness prevailed everywhere, and right now she is from this mortal world to an immortal world, the other world.